August is National Black Business Month, a time to recognize and support Black-owned businesses in the community. Joining us to tell us more about that is Tino Rutenhira from the Vermont Professionals of Color Network. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So first, about how many Black-owned businesses do we have here in Vermont?
We don't have specific numbers around the Black-owned businesses, but we do know that there's about between 400 and 600 BIPOC-owned businesses in the state. And actually, if you go onto our website, you'll be able to see that there's about 400 actually that are registered on our website. We have a BIPOC business directory where people can actually go and interact with BIPOC businesses, look to see what businesses they have, what services they offer, etc. We have everything from accountants to yoginis to lawyers, consultants from all over the sort of the business spectrum. We even have a bruto business as well as a voiceover artist as well.
What are some of the challenges faced by Black-owned businesses here?
Well, I mean, there's so many challenges. I mean, it's hard to sort of start, but essentially the main challenges are that, recent forces like the devastating impact of the global pandemic and ongoing socioeconomic battles like lack of access to much needed capital to open and expand ventures have made it extremely challenging for BIPOC entrepreneurs to try to advance in the highly competitive business mainstream.
What are some of the things then that you would like to see change that would help?
Well, I'd like to see more investment in BIPOC businesses. I think I'd like to also see more opportunities for equal access to funding. We want to go beyond BIPOC businesses being mom and pop shops and being solopreneurs. We want them to become large employers and to win government and private sector contracts so that BIPOC-owned businesses can become the next SD Islands, the next Dealer.coms, the next seventh generations of the state. And one sure way to do this is by giving them access to private and public sector contracts, because guaranteed revenue allows a business to go from being a one-person shop to being a 2, 5, 10-person organization. However, we also want to ensure that these BIPOC folks who maybe choose to stay as small solopreneurs can also still continue to be successful in their endeavors and not struggle to make ends meet.
Now, one of the questions you said you get asked often is how white people specifically can help Black-owned businesses. What do you tell people?
Well, generally I tell them that a simple yet impactful way is to patronize these BIPOC-owned businesses and give them your hard-earned dollars so that they can grow and utilize that money. And then also share these businesses within your social circles. Maybe also leave them a review on sites like Google and Yelp. And you can also make it a point to feature them, like you guys do on WCAX, and also in local and regional publications, sharing the information on social media posts or having a blog. And then a close second behind spending your money with BIPOC-owned businesses is to give them your time. The BIPOC business community is new to entrepreneurship. We have traditionally been marginalized from equal participation in building businesses, and we don't typically have the depth and breadth of access, expertise, technical skills, learned experience, or networks that have benefited white businesses. So if you have access to these value adds that can benefit a BIPOC business owner, offer one or more of them to them. With more access to a diverse range of resources, capital, partners, or even clientele, BIPOC entrepreneurs can build their businesses further or even pivot in more innovative ways because they have a strong support system alongside them.
Are there certain success stories that you want to highlight?
I mean, there's so many of them. I think one that comes immediately to mind is Chris Brown, who I mentioned briefly. He's a voiceover artist and does commercials and stuff. I really love his voice. It's very soothing, very soulful. And Little Pitaka as well has been doing a lot of really cool things by developing a book and a children's learning series that allows for people of color or children of color to see themselves being represented in books.
I know I put you on the spot there, asking you to choose just one or two success stories. Definitely.
It's like picking my children, which is my favorite.
That's why we will have a link to your website on ours with this story so people can check out all the BIPOC-owned businesses in the state of Vermont and start to get to know the ones that are in their community. Tino, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Kat. I appreciate it.